You hear about these seasons. We'll average 50 points and 25 rebounds, and he had 75 consecutive quadruple doubles or whatever. And you're like, I don't believe any of that. He's doing Wilt Chamberlain type stuff now. I know we're 11 games in. I got to calm down.
I got you.
When the NBA's most unstoppable force starts putting up numbers so outrageous that even the league's harshest critics run out of explanations, something special is happening. Brian Windhorst, a longtime NBA insider who has covered LeBron James from the very beginning and witnessed multiple dynasties rise and fall, went on live television and made a comparison he never expected to make. He likened Nikola Jokic's production to Wilt Chamberlain, a name usually reserved for statistical records that sound almost fictional. Windhorst even admitted that he once believed those Wilt numbers couldn't possibly be real, but after what Jokić has just accomplished, he said there was no other comparison left. That reaction alone explains why NBA insiders are stunned by Jokic's dominance, and why this stretch may be one of the most overlooked yet historic performances the league has ever seen.
He's shooting 78% on two-pointers. 78.
Yeah, so that's a high
okay?
number.
He's leading the league in rebounds. He's leading the league in assists.
Picture this. On November 12th, 2025, the Denver Nuggets rolled into Los Angeles to face the Clippers on the second night of a brutal back-to-back, the kind of schedule spot the NBA quietly treats as a built-in loss. Most teams arrive exhausted, legs heavy, energy gone. Jokić had already torched Sacramento for 35 points the night before, so by normal superstar standards, this would have been a night to conserve energy, coast, or even sit out. But Nikola Jokić has never operated like a normal superstar. The Clippers knew that too. They came in with a clear plan, and after the game, even their head coach, Ty Lue, openly admitted it, acknowledging just how much attention and preparation Jokić demanded despite the circumstances.
Make him score and just take away his passing, take everybody else out of the game. I thought the first half we did a good job with that. We knew Jamal Murray would be more aggressive in the second half, but I didn't think he would score 50.
The Clippers' plan was to force Jokić into playing selfish basketball, betting that even if he scored, it wouldn't matter without his elite playmaking. Instead, something unbelievable happened. Jokić exploded for 55 points. Yes, 55, completely shattering that idea. He shot an absurd 18 of 23 from the field, nearly 78%, as if he were taking uncontested layups in an empty gym. He drained 5 of his 6 three-point attempts, went 14 of 16 at the free throw line, and still added 12 rebounds and 6 assists on top of it all. The most shocking detail might be that he did all of this in just 34 minutes, barely seeing the floor in the fourth quarter because the game was already out of reach. This wasn't just a big scoring night. It was a masterclass, precise, effortless, and overwhelming. It was basketball played at an artistic level.
For Wilt Chamberlain had these numbers. You hear about these seasons. We'll average 50 points and 25 rebounds, and he had 75 consecutive quadruple doubles or whatever. And you're like, I don't believe any of that. He's doing Wilt Chamberlain type stuff now. I know we're 11 games in. I got to calm down.
I got you. I got you.
Let me say this to y'all, though, seriously, that you point that out. He's also happy, right? He seemed like he's in a happy place.
After the game, Ty Lue looked like a coach whose entire defensive game plan had completely collapsed in real time. He admitted honestly, I didn't think he would score 55, a reaction that perfectly summed up the shock across the league. And that's where the conversation truly went off the rails. Brian Windhorst went on ESPN's NBA Today and dropped any usual restraint. This is someone known for being calm, analytical, and often skeptical, not prone to exaggeration. Yet after watching Jokić tear through teams while averaging more than 35 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists over a 6-game stretch, all while shooting nearly 74%, Windhorst made it clear that even longtime observers were running out of ways to explain what they were seeing.
Every 100 possessions he's on the court defensively, the Nuggets are giving up 104 points. That means every 100 possessions he's out there, the Nuggets are outscoring the opposition by 47.
Windhorst then delivered a line that made fans stop and take it all in. A reporter who has practically built his career on questioning and scrutinizing greatness admitted that he never fully believed Wilt Chamberlain's legendary stat lines were real until he watched Nikola Jokić in 2025. That's a stunning confession when you consider the history. Wilt averaged 50 points per game over an entire season and once scored 100 points in a single night, numbers that had been treated like basketball fairy tales for more than 6 decades. Yet Windhorst is now saying that what Jokić is doing in today's NBA against zone defenses, elite specialists, and in an era driven by modern analytics genuinely belongs in the same conversation.
Doing what they do every year, no one cares, all right? Austin Reeves scores 25. That's better than Jokic's triple.
Windhorst didn't stop there. He kept pushing the point with even more intensity, explaining that this isn't just elite play or typical MVP-level dominance. What Jokić is producing combines volume and efficiency at a level the league has quite literally never seen before. This isn't normal basketball excellence, it's history in real time. Jokić isn't simply scoring points, he's warping the entire game around his presence, forcing defenses, schemes, and matchups to bend to him every night. That's where the frustration kicks in, and where Gilbert Arenas jumped into the conversation. Agent Zero went on a rant that perfectly captured what Nuggets fans have been shouting for years. He called out the media directly, asking whether Jokic's triple-doubles even matter to them anymore, and he wasn't wrong. In today's coverage cycle, Nikola Jokić can casually post another historic line and it barely moves the needle, while a solid performance, like Austin Reeves scoring 25 points, suddenly becomes headline news.
Austin Reeves has been in the news more than both of them combined.
Yeah, I mean, team he plays.
Because of the market. We all talk about winning is amazing, we want to talk about it, but it's never news because the market is so small.
Meanwhile, Nikola Jokić, a 3-time MVP, keeps dropping 30-point triple-doubles, and they somehow get buried like nobody even noticed. Gilbert Arenas wasn't wrong, and he didn't stop there. He pointed out that Jokić is averaging nearly 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists, while shooting an absurd 68% from the field. No player in NBA history has ever maintained that level of production with that level of efficiency, yet somehow a huge portion of the country couldn't name anyone on the Nuggets besides Jokić. Arenas made it painfully clear. If Jokić played for the Lakers, Knicks, or any major market, he'd be treated like a global superstar. Instead, he's in Denver, quietly putting up numbers that have analysts comparing him to Wilt Chamberlain, while most casual fans don't even realize it's happening. The funniest part is that Jokić genuinely does not care. After his 55-point explosion, reporters asked him what the performance meant to him, and his answer was almost unbelievable. He said he missed 2 or 3 layups. That was it. No celebration, no flexing, just mild annoyance that he didn't shoot perfectly. And when you zoom out, the numbers are getting ridiculous. That 55-point night became the most efficient 50-point game in NBA history, with a 91.5% true shooting mark. He also became the first player ever to average a 35-point triple-double while shooting 60% or better across a 6-game stretch. Not LeBron, not Jordan, not Magic, nobody. Even his own teammates were stunned. The Denver Post reported that Nuggets players were literally shaking their heads on the bench as they watched him dominate. Two-way player Spencer Jones summed it up perfectly, saying that if you put a camera on the bench, you'd see everyone shaking their heads all game. That's what witnessing greatness up close actually looks like. What truly separates Jokić from every other all-time great is how he does it. He has zero traditional athleticism. This is the same player who recorded the worst vertical jump, 17 inches, out of more than 1,000 players tested at elite sports labs. And yet, he finished first in defensive plus-minus 3 years in a row. John Wall, a 5-time All-Star, captured the nightmare of guarding him in one sentence. The man scores 55 on 78% shooting and looks like he's floating. That's not disrespect, that's genius. His basketball IQ is so high it completely erases physical limitations. Historically, Jokić is forcing everyone to rethink what a dominant big man even looks like. Shaq shattered rims, Kareem perfected the skyhook, Hakeem danced with the dream shake. Tim Duncan was so fundamentally perfect, he made dominance look boring. But Jokić is something different. He is the greatest passing big man the game has ever seen, and it's not even a debate. He's already second all-time in assists among centers, and is about to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Karl Malone, two legends who played more than 700 additional games. And it's not just the volume of passes, it's the creativity. His teammates say they have to stay alert at all times because Jokić throws passes from angles nobody else even thinks about. Players have literally been hit in the face in practice because they weren't ready for a pass coming from somewhere impossible. Comparisons to European pioneers like Vlade Divac and the playmaking flair of Chris Webber make sense, but those players opened the door. Jokić turned the blueprint into an entirely new sport. He isn't just a passing big, he's the offensive engine who happens to be 7 feet tall. And defensively, despite looking like he's moving in slow motion, he's always in the right spot, always reading the floor correctly, and constantly forcing offenses into bad decisions. After that 55-point masterpiece, Brian Windhorst issued a warning to the rest of the Western Conference.